Do-Rag Wisdom here, folks. Y2K 17.09.04 Labor Day. Here's to labor and organized labor run by the workers, not the bureaucrats, the rank and file. There's a movie I want to recommend for you folks to see, and it's called Harrison Bergeron. Harrison Bergeron. It stars Sean Astin. I don't know who directs it offhand, but I know that it premiered on one of the cable stations. Showtime, methinks, but I don't see any indication of it on any HBO or Showtime. However, it is on YouTube. The last time I looked it up, Harrison Bergeron was available on YouTube, and that's spelled capital B-E-R-G-E-R Bergeron. Harrison. Sean Astin. And it's based on a short story by Kurt Vonnegut. When I now think about this feature, and I've never read the short story or novella upon which it was based, when I think about the movie, I'm thinking of some of the top dystopian films of all time. You know, movies that show the future that's supposed to be a better future, but it's really, it's horrifying. And Harrison Bergeron is up there with, you know, the likes of 1984, Brave New World, The Handmaid's Tale, and like those other novels and films, Harrison Bergeron is more relevant now than ever before. I don't want to ruin it for you. I'm going to say it reminds me of the Trump administration. There's something about it, about the movie, that reminds me of this Trump, this tax evader, Don Putin, Trump Putin birther era that we're in. A nightmare era. And, you know, we're only, you know, as of the 20th of this month, we're going to be, you know, 9 months into this nightmare. So, please view, anybody out there who watches this broadcast, if you ever have an opportunity, sit down. It's on YouTube. The last I saw, but it's called Harrison Bergeron. And let me just meditate on it for a moment when I'm thinking about how that movie seems to relate. Somehow it's a Rorschach. When I look at that movie now, it's a Rorschach of this nightmare we're in now. We have become obsessed with the glitz and glamour of celebrity. Our lives have become so torturous and drab, so filled with the daily humiliations that build up over the years, like all the orbits we make around. And it ages us. But here we have our celebrities who give us a fantasy world. But these are just actors. And we pay these actors, these entertainers, a ton for what they give us. And they're acting. They're not somebody who's necessarily capable of running a government, a society. Now, there are 35% of our country who voted love this creep, and I guess the character of the movie that they like is the boss, the nasty boss who runs things. I guess they're sick enough to want to live in a world that has a nasty, crooked, gangster kind of boss that's running things. We become so obsessed with entertainment that we've forgotten that the reality we all share must take precedent over all, because we share this reality and we don't want to ruin it for everybody. All right. Now, the other thing is we no longer strive for the best in ourselves. Again, I'm not saying this for everyone. I'm talking about usually when someone reaches the pinnacle of being president of the United States, all right, you think, wow, this is like they've reached the pinnacle, right? This is the pinnacle of what our society wants to lead us, and also wants to show as a representative of us to the world. And we have decided to countenance the lesser, the least, the minimum, the average, the less than average to lead us. We don't need people with experience in government. We don't need people with experience in all kinds of affairs, Renaissance people, people of vision, people who are responsible people. No, we have learned to take shortcuts, to do the minimum. When I was growing up, it wasn't so easy to get into a college. Nowadays, I guess when they accepted me, that was the beginning of the end. The fact of the matter is, between our love, our adoration of celebrity, and at the same time our countenancing of the inferior product, the minimum, the nothing, the lack of experience, you add those two together, and we have a society that's amounting to nothing. To the workers. I also want to add los olvidados. That means to the lost. And the final equation is, of the equation, it equals 1 plus 1 equals 2, is that we lose our freedom, our liberty, all the things we value as being citizens of this nation. We have trivialized it. We want actors to run us. That's all Trump is. He's not a good businessman. He never was. He's a bankrupt piece of crap. He doesn't want anybody to see his inferior and crooked tax returns. We wanted that kind of creep to run us and ruin us. And we become so blasé about what we want in terms of responsible people running us, in terms of the experience that we need to run us. We're on our way to the end, folks. The end of this country. Harrison Bergeron! Harrison Bergeron! Check it out.